Let's take a look at the Gacha games launching in March 2023. Now, this isn't going to be just March, but it's the monthly video that we make looking at all the games. We've got 3 that launched back to back to back in the last 3 days of February. We got one with an official release in March, and then we got a bunch of others that I feel like we will definitely be getting news on very soon that we're going to cover. Timestamps will be in the description if you want to look at something specifically, but let's get into it. Okay, so first up, we have Limbus Company. Now, this one launched yesterday at the time of recording this. This is a very unique game. I saw FG3000, I saw Chaotic, I saw Balkano. There was a lot of people playing it. This one does have a little bit of hype around it, more of a cult following, I would call it, because of the combat and the strategy behind the combat. In this one, it's very deep. If you look at it at a very basic level, it's kind of like a color matching, but it is much deeper than that if you're actually really trying to push the game. For me, personally, I was never sure on this one. After playing it, I was going to make a first impressions. I decided not to. It's not something that I enjoy personally, not because of the combat. It's just not my aesthetic. I just don't enjoy watching the combat in this game. It's just something that I personally don't like. That's not to say it's bad. That is a personal taste thing. The other thing is people were raving from what I'd seen about the story in this game. Unfortunately for me, in a gacha game, if it doesn't have English voice acting, I'm out, and this one is no English voice acting. I believe it's got, I don't know what language it is, but it does have some voice acting, but you're going to have to read it for English, and for me, that's a no-no. So, like I said, this one, if you do like the aesthetic of this game, it's... like I said, and you like stories that you're happy to read, and trust me, the combat is quite in-depth, but like I said, for me personally, I couldn't quite get into it, but I don't want to turn you away from it, because if you don't mind the aesthetic, I think it's a game you can really enjoy, and there's plenty of people playing it. You can find plenty of videos about it. The other cool thing about this one is, if you do like rerolls, it's got a really, really simple reroll system, so I actually did a few rerolls, and I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to play the game, so I should probably just stop rerolling. So that is Limbus Company. Next up, we have N-Innocence. Now, this just launched today on the 27th of February, which is actually the 28th over here in Australia. And this one is like a fighting style game. So it's over here, you can see it's only launched in US and Canada. And to play it from elsewhere, you've got to have a Google account or Apple ID with the country/region set to the United States or Canada. So eventually, I'll probably set this up. There is a JP version, I believe it is, that was previously released. I'll try and jump on this one and have a bit of a play. But this one is going to be a fighting game. I'm thinking something like Marvel Contest of Champions, just based off what I've looked at, where it's like, you know, you do taps and swipes to control your character and do the abilities and stuff like that. Honestly, it's a pretty cool aesthetic. This aesthetic I actually don't mind. I'm just not massive into the fighting game, so I'm not sure. I think this is going to be a very niche game, and it's all based on the gods and stuff like that. So if we roll through all these characters, they're all based on gods, but you got the gender swapping and stuff like that, which I really like that kind of thing in designs. They get Loki, Freya, I've been watching, I just finished watching Ragnarok on Netflix. The Brunhilde in Ragnarok. I just looked at this one compared to that, and I'm like, I can't look at it. I just like the Brunhilde in the Ragnarok series, but that is that one. Like I said, combat seems like a nice casual game that I wouldn't mind just picking up and playing for a day and then probably dropping, but we'll have to see. I might give you guys a first impressions if I can sort out a US account, but most of you guys are probably from the US anyway, or Canada, so you can probably jump in and give it a look if you're interested. Now, next after that, launching on the 28th of February, which will actually be the 1st of March over where I am in Australia, we have Street Fighter Duel. Now, I don't know too much about this one. I'm keen to jump in. My summary for this one is, based off what I've seen, it's sort of, if you're a fan of Street Fighter IP, give it a go. If you're not, I don't think it's going to blow your mind. So it looks like it doesn't look like an action fighter game, because as you can see in here, this looks like you got the 3 on board, whether it's turn-based, whether it's more auto-based, I'm not too sure. I'll definitely jump in and give this one a look when it launches to see what it's like. But yeah, I think it's going to be like pretty much that. It's going to be, if you like Street Fighter, give it a look if you like the IP. But if you only like Street Fighter with combat, doesn't look like it. But once again, I'll jump into it. I've been saying this about a lot of games lately. If I enjoy it enough to get through tutorials and stuff, I will give you guys a first impression. But that is going to be Street Fighter Duel. Next up is Summoners War Chronicles. Now, this one has been in soft launch. I believe I saw a post from them that has been in soft launch for 100 days, or it's been available. I don't know if they called it a soft launch, but it's been available in North America. So most people watching this have probably already been able to get this if they wanted to. I played a bit of the Korean version before that launch. And then when the launch happened, the first APK I got was in a different language, and I just gave up because I wasn't playing it on the PC client because I just wanted to play it on my phone. But this is going to have PC and mobile. It's Summoners War Chronicles, like Summoners War Sky Arena, which was their first game, which has been around for like, I don't know, almost 10 years now. Was the first Gacha game I ever played. I played it for like 5 years. I do like the Summoners War IP, so I may jump into this, but I don't really want to fully invest myself into it. There's a ton of content out there for this from all the Summoners War boys, doing a lot of content. I have massive respect for the guys in the Summoners War content scene. You know, Childish, Sean B, those guys, just absolute great blokes. So if you want to play this game, you probably already are if you're from America, but if not, it is going into its full global launch on March the 9th. So that one's coming up, but like I said, most people are already playing it if they want to be playing it. So Summoners War Chronicles. Next up is Higan Eruthyll. Now, this one's currently in soft launch. It soft launched just at the end of Feb, but not sure exactly when the global launch would be. I was thinking it was going to be pretty soon. Not too sure exactly. Personally, I'm going to just sit out until we do see the global launch for this one. I was going to play it over on my other channel, but there's a bunch of kinks I feel like need ironing out and stuff like that. Plus, global is going to be on a different server, so you got to consider that. The one main reason I would consider playing the soft launch is if you plan on spending at global launch, because they've got like a rebate system where if you spend on the soft launch server, you get like that plus some, I think it is, on the global server. They've got a post on their Twitter. You can go check out the details of the rebate. And that's probably the main reason I jump on the soft launch server. Otherwise, you probably want to wait for global, and hopefully they can really polish it up by then. And then obviously we have Honkai Star Rail continuing its closed beta into March. No word on the official release date. We're still basing it on the Apple Store being April 26th, I believe it was. But, you know, that's still tentative. There has been no official word from Hoyoverse about when the release date will be. But obviously I'm doing a lot of content from this game on the channel. So if you want updates on the game, feel free to browse the channel and you'll find plenty of content. After that, we have Lord of the Rings, Heroes of Middle-earth. Now, I didn't realize this game has been in soft launch since, I think it was like June or July last year. I had no idea. It's a standard turn-based game with the Lord of the Rings IP. My problem is, I just wish they had a bit of a different graphical style for it. Like, I like Lord of the Rings, but this just doesn't grab me personally. Like, I'm a turn-based fan. Like, as long as it's got the basic systems from Summoners War, Epic 7, Raid Shadow Legends, any of that stuff, I mean, I can get into it. I'm like, it's fairly easy for me. But the style of it, I'm just not a massive fan of the art style. But the reason I'm bringing this one up, it has been in soft launch since, like I said, June, July last year. It's finally come onto pre-registration in the Google Store and the App Store. So not sure exactly when this one is launching, but it's just come up. So it's one to have on your radar if you love Lord of the Rings and you think this looks decent. But like I said, to me, maybe I'll play it, but the graphic style is just something that I don't know if I'd want to just keep looking at every day. So we'll have to wait and see. Next up, we have Black Clover Mobile, Rise of the Wizard King, it's called. Now, this one, I made a whole video talking about this, but if we go over here, we've got what looks like the tentative release date of June 30. If you want someone to follow just to find out all the news on this, I just follow Kaku, Black Clover Mobile, this dude. He just collates everything. It's all in different language. You just translate his tweets, and it's just fantastic for me. So just go follow him if you want someone to keep up on all this news with. But they've started marketing in JP, hoping to hear some more about global. No idea. Like I said, this says June, and the reason I'm putting this in here is I expect the launch to be before this, but if the launch isn't before this, I expect that we get another beta. I'd be completely surprised if we didn't get another beta in the next 2 months. So that is Black Clover Mobile starting to ramp up. I'll keep you guys posted on the channel as we find more information out about this game, because I absolutely loved the beta from last year. So hopefully we get some more playability out of this game pretty soon. And I just wanted to throw this one at the end. It's Warcraft Arclight Rumble. Now, I don't know if it's really going to be a gacha game. It's more of like a Clash Royale style of thing. But My mate asked me about it. I'm like, this was announced like 10 months ago. So Blizzard appeared to just love long drawn out releases for mobile games. I don't know. I'm not sure how keen I am to even try this one. It's got an install button here for me, but it just basically says it will install when it's available. So not too sure. I just want to throw this one in there to put it back on your radar if you are into Warcraft and it's something you were looking at, because this one I just sort of like slipped my mind, but I feel like maybe we start hearing something about it. Have to wait and see. But that is going to be it for the March 2023. I know that a lot of that wasn't just games releasing in March, but that's our March monthly update on what's happening in Gacha games. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.